Good morning, students. In my last video, we were discussed about national development. Now, here is the new topic: how to compare different countries or states. How we can compare different countries or states? How? By calculating their income, their yearly income. By comparing their yearly annual income, we can compare different countries or different states. Which country is growing more, which country is developing more, which country is developing less. We can compare all this through their national income. Now, what is national income? National income is the sum total of all goods and services produced within a country in 1 year plus the net income from abroad. What is national income? I said sum total of all goods and services produced or provided within a country in 1 year plus income from abroad. Are Indians who are settled down in abroad in other countries, they are working there, they are earning there, but their income is calculated in our country. When we are calculating our national income, their income also included in national income. So income from abroad or export import, whatever goods are, what business is taken by government or by other private industrialists through exports and imports, these all are income from calculated as income from abroad. And how it is calculated? It is the ratio of income of the country to its population, or it is termed as average income. It is also termed as average income, which is the total income of the country divided by its total population. When total income of a country is divided by the total number of population of a country, it is termed as average income, or it is also known as per capita income. Per capita income means income per head, income of each and every individual. So we can compare two countries through average income, through their total average income of 1 year. Clear? So how we can calculate average income? Total income of a country including income from abroad divided by its total population. This is the main criteria of comparing two countries. Now come to the next topic: income and other criteria. What are the other criteria? Educational facilities. Apart from income, apart from monetary income, other criteria which are used in comparing two countries, in development of countries, in comparing development of countries, these are educational facilities. There are other facilities which we discussed earlier, like transportation and communication facilities. Their agricultural produce, what is the ratio of agricultural production in a country and other production in a country. All these aspects are taken into consideration while calculating national income. Now come to the next topic: public facilities. These public facilities we have discussed earlier: transportation and pollution-free environment. We can purchase every materialistic commodity with the help of money. But what about other facilities which we cannot earn or which we cannot purchase through money? What are these? Pollution-free environment. These are pollution-free. Can we get pollution-free environment through money? No, we cannot buy. We cannot get pollution-free environment through money. This is a different topic. And medicines, unadulterated medicines. These all aspects are also taken into consideration while comparing two countries income, two countries development. Is that clear? So this topic is completed: public facilities, national income. Yes, students, here is our last topic of this chapter: sustainability of development. So what is sustainability of development? It is sustainability of development is the capacity to use the resources, to use the natural resources judicially and maintain the ecological balance. Use the resources judicially means use it carefully, use of resources carefully with minimum wastage of these natural resources, because once they are exhausted they cannot be renewed. Some natural resources are of nature which are once they will get exhausted they never can be renewed. So we should use these resources very judicially and to make the ecological balance, which with no harm to ecological balance. We have to make judicial use of the resources, or else the future generations will be deprived of resources, or they will soon be exhausted. These resources may be exhausted and our future generations will not be able to get the benefit of these all resources. Moreover, excessive mining of iron, for example, excessive mining of iron or other metals, extraction of crude oil has led to a depletion of their stocks. Yes. Moreover, smoke and other poisonous gases that are released lead to environmental pollution. Yes, you all may know how environmental pollution occurs through smoke and other poisonous gases, through the use of these natural resources, burning of fossil fuels, etc. Due to mismanagement of available natural resources, environmental degradation has been observed in various ways. Deforestation, we can see deforestation, falling levels of groundwater, soil erosion, water pollution, burning of fossil fuels, and the smoke from automobiles causing extreme air pollution, especially in urban areas. The focus should now be on sustainable development, which would be possible through a judicious use of resources that does not harm the balance of environment and keeping in mind the requirements of the present and the future generations. Clear? If we make overuse of groundwater, it may also be falling the level of groundwater. अगर हम बहुत ज़्यादा मिसयूज़ करेंगे पानी का या अदर रिसोर्सेज का, तो धीरे धीरे वो कम होती जाएंगी और हमारी आने वाली फ्यूचर जनरेशन को ये सारी रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल नहीं हो पाएंगी. तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए इसके लिए? वी शुड यूज़ it in a quite better way without any wastage, so it can be restored. It can be these resources can be restored for our future generations. So use it in a better way, in a judicious way, and keep its stock for our future generations also. So students, here we have completed this chapter कंप्लीट हो गया आपका. अब इसकी एक्सरसाइजेस क्लिप भेज दूंगी मैं, पिक्स भेज दूंगी, आप उसमें क्लियर कीजिए और नोट्स पूरे बनाइए इसके. क्लियर? ओके.